Hi everyone, Letty here. Welcome to hashtag N2S October 24. We have the Not Too Shabby Shop October box of the month. We're going to do some craft fair prep by making some hot cocoa packs and some more items. Welcome back everyone. So I'm on the design team for the Not Too Shabby Shop for this term. Here's their logo. I'll list a website affiliate link down in the description box below. Today I have the October box of the month that I'll be using. It has 2 paper pads, 2 packs of coordinating ephemera, 3 stamp sets, and then Jamie did throw in some little freebies, and this month she threw in a pack of peppermint tea, and if you open up the little pack, she also threw in a ton of enamel dots. These are the Not Too Shabby enamel dots, some of my favorites. So then there's business cards also there. So I am absolutely a big fan of peppermint tea. I am loving this box of the month this month so far. Now, normally whenever you purchase $60 in the shop, you get a freebie. This is the freebie that will be coming this month. It's some enamel dots. These are from the Pink Christmas collection. So that's going to be super cute, and they will coordinate with this box of the month, as well as the paper pad clubs. So let's look at each pad. So the first one's called Deck the Halls. It's 12 designs, 6x6 double-sided sheets. You've got 24 total papers. These are the backs and fronts of all of the papers that come in that pack. So you've got 12 total designs. That means there's 6 different paper combinations, and then you get 4 of each of that paper combination. So that's the front and the back of each of the different designs that came in that pack. So again, that was called Deck the Halls. Again, 24 double-sided sheets of 6x6. Now, there is a coordinating ephemera pack that matches with that pad. It's also called Deck the Halls. Let me show you a still shot of all the items that come in that pack. Lots of really pretty poinsettias and stockings and ornaments and candy canes, and there's some sentiments and fireplaces, real pretty. Then you have Christmas Time. Now this one has 24 designs. Look at all these different pattern papers. So there's 24 different designs. You're going to have 12 combinations of papers. These are again 6x6, 24 papers total. There's a ton of them in this one, so you're going to get to see all the different designs. Now this one only is going to give you 2 of each of the paper combinations, whereas the other one is going to give you 4, and that's because you've got twice as many patterns. So here's what these look like. These are just absolutely gorgeous. I love these colors and these little prints. So a lot of really fun prints on that one. So again, that one's called Christmas Time. You've got 24 designs in that paper pack. Then we have a coordinating ephemera pack. It's also called Christmas Time, and this one is gorgeous. Let me show you a still shot of what comes in that pack. Really pretty. We've got some pretty girls and some trees and some critters, lots of scenes and poinsettias and cookies and just about everything. We also have 3 stamp sets that come in the box. This first one's, I think, is my favorite. It's called Snarky Christmas. It has a ton of really fun sentiments. Really fun. These are just definitely ones you're going to want to have in your stash, especially if you like to do snarky kind of sentiments or snarky cards. These are so cute. So fun. So again, snarky sentiments. And then the next one is called Ornament Wishes. And now this one you can stamp out the ornament and then add the color with the background. You can add some embellishments and then stamp a sentiment right in the inside of the ornament. There is a coordinating die that you can purchase. This next one's called Peace on Earth. It's got some really fun reindeer images, some sentiments, and then some additional little add-on embellishment type things like a tree and some other things. Super fun. And then again, Jamie threw in those extra freebies. So that was the box of the month. Again, we have that additional add-on enamel dots, or you can get it free with purchase. I do have my website affiliate link. I'll link it down below in case you want to make a purchase. Let's dive into the project. So before we dive in, let me show you the previous projects that I made using this box of the month. I did some gift card ornament holders. I am going to touch on this one again one more time today. I have some special one-sheet wonders that I'll show you with this. And then I also did a set of cards. These were some layered cards. I'll link both of those previous tutorial videos at the very end of this video. So if you keep watching to the end, you can check out how I make both of those projects. But again, we're going to come back to that gift card holder in just a second as well. Now it is craft fair season. I have been prepping some items, so I thought it would be fun to show you how I am mass producing some items and making items for my craft fair. You see here I have that To From label. I went ahead and reused it. This was a freebie that I gave in my Ko-fi shop. I'll have that link down below, but I'm making 2 different projects today. I'm going to show you how to cut your paper down a couple different ways where you can make some of these items. So our main project today is hot cocoa packets, but I will be also making a spin on that and showing you how you can cut your paper down to make a couple different projects. projects. Now, Not Too Shabby just released this new Hot Cocoa Gnomes ephemera pack. It's so stinking cute. And I went ahead and have already used it. Here are some of the gnomes ephemera pieces that come. You got 2 sentiments and then a ton of gnomes. So stinking cute. So I'm going to show you, I've already added them to some of my projects. I'll show you some close-ups of that, what it looks like. We're even going to use one today in one of the projects that I do. So I added them to some of those hot cocoa packs here. You see, so stinking cute, so fun. And they're perfect for this project because they're sitting in some hot cocoa mugs and we are making hot cocoa packs. So I thought it was just perfect for this project. I knew once I saw it that I had to do this. This was a new release. It is still available at the Not Too Shabby shop. I'll have that link down below. I also did a 6x6 paper pack smash in this video. So I was able to off camera smash all of this, the rest of that pack that I had not used, which is most of what you see right there on the screen. I did tap into a little bit of that Christmas tree paper pad as well and a lot of the ephemera, but I'll do a full recap at the very end of the video where I show you all of these projects that I made off camera. And then again, I'll have that link to the Not Too Shabby, the Hot Cocoa Gnomes, the affiliate website link to in case you want to purchase that. So today we are making some hot cocoa packs. I've got 2 options for you. One that has 2 hot cocos and then one that has a mixture of 2 different projects, one of which is that gift card holder ornament. This is going to be a bit of a lengthy video, but I'm going to show you how to cut down all of your paper, all your foundations, and we'll even decorate it again at the end together. So I have 1 sheet of double-sided 6x6 paper, and this is going to be to make 2 hot cocoa packs. I also have 2 solid mats, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. I'll put all the dimensions down below. This is where I have 1 paper mat that's 3 inches wide, and then I have a cardstock mat right behind it. The alternative is to make your mat a little bit larger, which I'll show you in just a second. So I'm going to show you 2 different sets of dimensions for this. I am using a 1 sheet of cardstock 8.5 by 11. You basically can cut it at 3.5 and make your foundation holder for your hot cocoa pocket or pack. And so you can get 2 out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I've already cut 1, and I'll go through this a little slower in a second, but you'll basically score at 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 5 3/4, and then 10 3/4 on the 11-inch side. You're going to fold it all together. I'm going to show you how to glue it. We'll get to all of that in just a second, but I'll show you how to do all of that as well. But it's so super easy. So we've got 1 sheet. Let's go ahead and cut this 1 sheet down. Again, the first part of this project is that we're going to do 2 hot cocoa packs with 1 sheet of 6x6. So with the paper upright, go ahead and cut it at 3 inches on the 6-inch side. You've got 2 panels that are 3x6, then rotate it 1 time and cut it at 4.5 on the 6-inch side. So now you have a little scrap. You guessed it, we're going to flip it around. And so we don't have to have any scraps on this template. We're going to put it on the front of that paper and then put the layering cardstock right behind it. I will put all the dimensions down in the description box below. And then we will just glue it right to our little foundation for the hot cocoa pack. So that's what it's going to look like, plus some additional decorations right on top of that. So we're going to do the same thing with the second piece, turn it and then cut it at 4.5. And now you have your little layered paper mats as well. You could use either side. I personally like this combination right there. And so I'll add again my little cardstock paper mat and then right onto the foundation. So, and then the last step is just to decorate. So that was 2 hot cocoa packs from 1 sheet of 6x6. Now the next project combination is going to involve using a larger mat. You see there, this one actually has the mat that goes all the way across. We're going to make 2 different projects from 1 sheet of 6x6. If it has orientation, make sure you put that to the very top and then cut it at 3 1/4, just like that on the 6-inch side. Now we're going to rotate once and cut it at 4 3/4. So now again, we have a larger mat plus a little scrap. We're going to just flip that and put it as decoration on the front of our card or on the front of our hot cocoa pack, and then decorate the front, and you are totally done with that. Now the second thing is I have this little extra scrap. It's 2 3/4 by 6. Rotate it and cut it at 3.5 on the 6-inch side. Those are our 2 mats for our gift card holder ornament. So not only is this a great way to make 2 different projects for your craft fair with regardless of which, set of projects you do, the first set or the second set, but you also have no scraps with both projects. So you put the smaller mat on the back with the pocket, and then you put the to from label. And I have these for free, these to from labels. These are free printable in my Ko-fi shop. I'll link that link down below. So again, we had 2 different projects from 1 sheet of 6x6, no scraps. So I think this is just such a fun way to use up that paper. Let's go ahead and cut down some foundations. I'll show you how to cut it down. So again, for the hot cocoa, cut it at 3.5 on the 8.5-inch side. So you're going to cut it at 3.5. and then you'll have a long piece that's 3.5 by 11. I'll show you how to score this in just a second, and we'll finish making that foundation. So you see how it's the same width of my foundation for the hot cocoa pack. So we'll put that aside. Now with what's left over, you could technically make a second hot cocoa pack, but I'm going to turn it and cut it at 6.5. And I'm going to make a gift card holder ornament from my scrap. So this is a true scrap right here. You could use it for like an A2 card mat or something. And then you're going to rotate that and cut it at 3 inches on that smaller side, which was the 5-inch side. Those both are your scraps. You can put those aside. You won't need those for this project, but we have our final foundation that's 3 inches by 6.5. So now I have my gift card holder ornament foundation. Again, I'll show you how to score and glue this in just a second, and we will finish making both of these projects. So both of these are so super easy. We've got our hot cocoa pack as well as our gift card holder ornament, all from one sheet of 6x6, and technically one sheet of the cardstock as well. You could also do 2 hot cocoa packs with the same supplies if you choose to do that. You just will have to add in that extra layer for your layering mat. So these are just a couple different options. These are great to mass produce for either gifts at the holiday time or even for your craft fairs. You see here, I have already packaged up a ton of these, and I'm going to show you in this video. This is so long because I'm even going to show you how I'm packaging them up for my craft fair, how I'm prepping them, getting them all nice and ready to sell at the craft fair. And so let's go ahead and finish assembling both of these foundations and then ultimately the projects themselves. So I'm going to start with the ornament holder. You just turn it on the longer side and you're going to score it at 2 3/4. So it'll be 2 3/4 on that 6.5-inch side. Go ahead and fold it up. You can enforce it with your bone folder, and that's basically your ornament. We're going to add some glue to the top and the bottom, which I'll do in just a second. You're going to make sure that seals, and then that is your gift card holder ornament. Now for the hot cocoa pack on the 11-inch side, you're going to score, and I'm using a small scoreboard, but I'm going to give you the large one dimensions. So you'll score at 1/2. You're going to score at 3/4 and then move over and score at 5 3/4 and then 10 3/4. Now I'm using a small scoreboard, so I'm going to go 1/2, 3/4, flip it, and then do 1/4 and 5 1/4. So that's just the 2 dimensions. I'll list both of the dimensions for scoring down in the description box below, depending on what size scoreboard you're using. And then what you'll do is just start with the center fold, the one that's right in the middle, and then just kind of fold all the rest of them kind of inwards. Both the 2 little segments and then the extra little segment on both sides. So we've got, this is what it should look like once it's nice and folded, ready to go. So let's go ahead and assemble this. I'm going to add some glue to the little bit thicker side, the one that's 1/2 inch on the inside panel where you folded it in. So then I'm going to do is press it down into the score line under that little bitty flap on the opposite side. So we'll add glue and then press it down to the opposite side. What I love about this holder is that it's seamless. You don't actually see a seam if you glue it the right way. So I'm going to just press this down, maybe remove some excess glue. And then I'm going to add glue to that little bitty 1/4 inch strip that's kind of hanging off the little tab. And I'm going to press that down to the base of our foundation and essentially making this a seamless project. So you see here, you don't actually see where you have a seam on the bottom. It's completely flat. On the sides, you don't see anything. On the back, the front, you don't see anything. This is what I love about this project. And then the last step is just to decorate, which we'll do in a second. Now for the gift card holder ornament, what you're going to do is add glue to the top and the bottom of the smaller piece, just like this, to form a pocket on the opposite side. So just like this, you're going to hold it down, press it down, remove excess glue. You see how it forms that little pocket? That's the perfect little foundation that you want. So we have both of our items here ready to go. That's how you glue those foundations. Let's go ahead and decorate. I am going to use the red foundations that I had already prepped. I'm going to glue this little scrap to the front of my larger mat, and then add it to the front of my hot cocoa pack. And so that's one way that this is going to be a no scrap template, is because that little extra strip, I'm adding it as a decorative element to the front of my packaging there. Now for the ornament, you've got a small side and you've got a larger side. The pocket is the smaller one. You're going to go ahead and add that one down. And what I love about this is if you're using double-sided paper, you can flip flop your pattern. So that way you have one on each side. You're going to add that to from label. This is optional, but that's how I like to do this project. And then go ahead and add glue to your larger mat and add it to the opposite side. Now, if I'm going a little too fast, I apologize. I wanted to kind of speed through this to kind of really show you, because we're right around craft fair season. I'm going to make these last 2 off camera. I will link some previous tutorials where I go a little slower down in the description box below, so you can go see both of these projects. So again, I gave you 2 different options here, one with some larger mats, one with some smaller mats, and then I'm also going to be bringing in some decoration just to kind of finish off all of these little projects here today. I brought in the gingerbread hug stamp set to use that Christmas calories don't count stamp. I think that was perfect. It does come with a to and a from, so you could stamp that. Has some additional great sentiments and some really cute images. I do not think that this is available in the Not Too Shabby shop. If I find it, I'll link it down below, but I don't think it's available anymore, unfortunately. But if you have it in your stash, definitely take it out. This is a great one for this one. And then I also brought in those gnomes. I think these are so stinking cute, and I'm going to add one of these, and this is what I had left so far. It does come with sentiments. You could absolutely add a sentiment to it or kind of pick through the gnomes that you want. I feel like these ones with the blue have a lot of the red and some of the same green colors that are part of that paper pack, so I'm going to use one of those. But that's basically what I have left of that pack. It was just released. Again, that's Hot Cocoa Gnomes, and I will have a link for that down below. And then as far as decorating the front, you could technically use some of the ephemera pieces that come in the box of the month. That's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm also going to bring in a stamped sentiment on a scallop circle that I had already prepped off camera. And I realized that I could actually use some of those smaller little bitty ephemera pieces to decorate the front. So I brought in a little candy cane from the ephemera pack. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly glue all 4 of these projects, and that way I can prep, and then we'll go into a full recap at the very end. And so again, if I went too fast on this video, you definitely want to check out my previous tutorials. I'll link them down in the description box below, and then I will link both of the previous videos at the very end of this video. So I have these pink Christmas enamel dots. These are available at the Not Too Shabby shop. I'm going to add some of these afterwards to all 4 of these projects, but I just wanted to show you that that would be the next step that you could do, which is embellish further with some enamel dots. And so I'm going to just continue to finish gluing all of the rest of these projects. I think these are so fun. These 2 reindeer were some of the ones from the box of the months. This was one of the stamps that came with this box, and I just stamped out the images. I colored them with some alcohol markers, and then I did use some scissors just to fussy cut the images. I think they still turned out super cute. So stinking cute. These are such fun projects to make, and I really feel that these are great for the craft fair. These are also good to give around the holidays. You could change the paper up and do any season, any reason, but for holiday craft fairs, I think this is just going to be perfect. And the hot cocoa packs are usually one of the really good sellers when I have a craft fair, so I think these are going to be really, really excellent. And so I'm going to finish off this next one with, again, the little stamp sentiment, and then I'm going to add one of those gnomes. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you participating in any craft fairs? Are you planning to make some of these projects? Do you like mass-produced projects like this where you can just make a ton all at once, or would you prefer, or do you prefer to make one project at a time only? Let me know. You give me some feedback in the comments down below. Look how cute that gnome is. So stinking cute. And then the last one is super easy, but what I remember here before I start gluing is I need to punch that hole. So I have a tutorial on this. I'll link it at the very end of this video, how to make these gift card holder ornaments. I punched the hole right there. I'm using I think it's a 1/8 hole punch on this one because my twine is thin, so I didn't really need a big hole on this ornament, and so I kept it kind of tiny. And then I'm going to finish it off with the stamp sentiment with the scallop circle that has metallic cardstock, and then my little candy cane decoration. And then we will need to bring in some twine and some elastic cording, but for the hot cocoa pack, I'm using these Swiss Miss hot cocoa packs. They sell these in bulk, or you could buy them like a box of 8 or 10 depending on where you shop. But you see how they fit perfectly inside the sleeve? I think these are so fun, and I use the same to from labels that I use for my ornaments. I just punched a little hole in the top right hand corner. I'm using about 18 inches of twine, but I actually doubled it, so I'm using about 36 inches just because it's so thin. But if you were using a thicker twine, you would use about 18 inches, and basically enough to wrap around your hot cocoa pack. So this is where we are sort of finishing off the final touches of this, and I'm going to go ahead and tie it around. Now, if you weren't going to add a to from label, you could just tie it and add a little bow, which I'm going to show you right here real quick. You can just add a little bow like this and have it sort of hanging off to the side. I think it looks so super cute. And so it looks something like that. But I actually am going to add the tag. So I'm going to take off the bow and I'm going to just tie a little knot and make sure that it's pretty tight. I like to tie towards the top of my hot cocoa pack because I know that I'll have a little wiggle room and I can shift it down just a tiny bit lower. If I start too low on the pack, my twine will be way too wide and it'll fall off. So again, I start at the very top because it's more more narrow. It's thinner at the very top because the pouch of the hot cocoa is a lot less. I went ahead and added my tag. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot. And I did open up the second, because you know how I doubled my twine. So I went ahead and cut open the second one that was looped. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow. And that's basically it for my hot cocoa pack. This is such an easy project. I think it's so fun. I love adding the little to from label because I think it's perfect for the person who purchases this to just go ahead and fill it out and give it to the recipient. So stinking cute. So cute. And now I am going to show you that I'm going to wrap it in some Cello bags. I don't have the dimensions with me, so I'll link them down in the description box below. But you want to make sure that you have enough height and width for your hot cocoa pack when you're deciding what bags to go with. Again, I'll link those dimensions down below. You see how the width of the bag is perfect? It fits perfectly, super snug. And then I have enough excess bag that I can flip it around. So you technically could get a smaller bag height-wise, but I would not go any smaller width-wise, if that makes sense. So I'll link all the dimensions down below, but that is my finished little hot cocoa pack. I will add some additional things afterwards. I'll talk about that in a second, but let's go ahead and finish off this gift card holder. Remember in my previous video, I had prepped some of these little cordings. These are elastic cording. I will list how many inches of cording I'm using down in the description box below. And so I'm going to go ahead and just tie a knot. I'm going to put it through the hole that I just punched, tie a knot, pull the knot towards the end, make sure that it's tight, and that's my ornament. So this project is done as well. So let's go ahead and bag this one up as well. I do have some bags, and again, I'll list all those dimensions down in the description box below. Now my bags are a little wider than what you really need. So this is one where you could technically go a little bit thinner on the width, but I think the height is just about perfect. So these were the closest I think that I had in my stash, which is why I went ahead and just used them. I am going to hang some of these on a Christmas tree, and then some of these I'm going to have already prepped, bagged up on the side, ready to go as well. So these are ready for price tags. I am going to come back and add my little handmade label on the hot cocoa pack on the back, but otherwise those two projects are ready for craft fair. So I am also going to go back and add my enamel dots to all of these projects. Let's go ahead and move into a final recap. Okay, so to recap, we had the October box of the month from the Not Too Shabby shop. Now, this one did come with 2 paper pads, and then it also comes with 2 coordinating ephemera packs, and then 3 stamp sets, and then Jamie did throw in some goodies, some freebie goodies. And so I did do a 6x6 paper pack smash in this video. I'm going to show you all the projects that I made. I used a lot of the ephemera. I used a few sheets from the Christmas time as well, and some of those ephemera pieces. We had 2 different combination of projects. One where we used 1 sheet to make 2 hot cocoa packs, and then one where we used 1 sheet to make 2 different projects. No scraps on both of these combinations. So I think this is super effective and efficient. So worth a trying, I think, in my opinion, and perfect for craft fair or even for your holiday gifting. These are perfect for any season, any reason. I did go back and add some enamel dots after this, or after I had shown the previous tutorial, the previous kind of walkthrough, and then I did add them to all the rest of these projects as well. Now I am going to do a full flip through of all the different projects that I have. But let me also show you some of the other items I brought in, which was the hot cocoa gnomes. This is just now released from Not Too Shabby. I have a link down below. We have the pink Christmas enamel dots. These are freebie if you spend over 60, or you can purchase them in the shop. And then I had the gingerbread hugs stamp set, which I don't think is still available. I apologize, but if I find it, I'll link it down below for you. All from Not Too Shabby. So one of the things that I did, because these are some of the hot cocoa packs, I've already packed them up. I did go back after and I've added my handmade by Party Planner Paper Read label on the back, and then I did add, of course, my little price tag that I'll use at my craft fair. I did also push up the to from label a little bit higher. That way it doesn't block the bulk of the actual like decoration on the front. I noticed that as I was kind of showing them here, that a lot of it's blocks, and so I wanted to make sure I had those ready to go for the fair. And then these are the gift card holder ornaments. I've already packaged up a ton of them. And so again, I'm going to go back on these and add some price tags to the back. I'm going to try to do another video probably in the next few days where I show everything that I've already prepped with prices and everything for the craft fair. If you're interested in something like that, let me know in the comments down below, and I will be sure to definitely make it a priority to try to film something like that. Remember, you also have that free printable that I created for you guys. You have the to from label. It's in my Ko-fi shop. I'll link that down below. I have more projects still, so I was able to, again, smash that pack. I made a ton of them. These are the ones that I have not finished filling with hot cocoa or packaging. These have those super cute gnomes, part of that new ephemera pack from Not Too Shabby. Look how great they work with this paper pack. I think it's just so stinking cute. They're so fun. And I think they were perfect for this project because each of the gnomes is sitting in a cup of hot cocoa, which is perfect for a hot cocoa pack. So those were the bulk of what I made with that pack. Now, I did previously make more of these in a previous video, as well as some cards. I'm going to link both of those videos at the very end in just a few seconds. So make sure you check that out if you're interested in more projects or a little bit slower of a tutorial for those gift card holder ornaments. All of that I made using the October box of the month. I still have quite a bit left, so these boxes really do stretch. I'll have my website affiliate link that I'll link down below for you in case you want to make a purchase. And then of course I have that hashtag N2S October 24, as well as the playlist to the Not Too Shabby design team using all of the new releases for the month of October from Not Too Shabby, the box of the month, the stamp and die set, the paper pad club, the add-on ephemera. So many fun projects. You'll definitely want to check that out. Let me know again in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on the craft fairs and these projects? As always, happy crafting.